Hello, beautiful people. Hello from Lagos State, Nigeria. How is everybody doing? Welcome to my first live video. Yeah, I feel like you should have all that. When they are streaming, you should have things like yay reactions. I don't know if you stream on YouTube and you know that there's a place I can get reactions. Please hook your girl up because I'm going to be doing more of this. Hello, everybody. This is quite different from making a video and posting it because it's here. You guys are here, whatever, like whatever I say, it is what it is. No time to edit, put it together, make it look, you know, nice for everyone. But yeah, it's cool, it's different. How's everybody doing? So today you might be wondering, okay, why Sarah live? What am I talking about? Or you've probably seen it after the live and you're wondering, what are we talking about today? So basically today we are talking about something that I am passionate about, obviously, which is Nigeria. If you followed my channel, you know that this channel is literally about moving back to Nigeria, about helping you make the right decisions. And even for the people who are not planning to move now, by the way, I see you all. I actually love when I see comments like that say, oh, I'm not planning to move, but I just like being in touch, which is something I keep telling people. Listen, except you don't know anything about Nigeria. But if you were born here for some reason, or your roots are here, like you're connected, you know your parents, you know that this is where you're from, anywhere you're going, do not do not leave your root. Do not just say, oh, I'm gone, never to come back, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, it's okay that you might never want to come back at the end of the day. It's okay. But always hold on to that thing. It's very important. It's very, very important. I said I was going to do a detailed video about that now because you know what has been happening in the UK. So a lot of people that are like Japada to the UK, they're coming back because it's not what it is. Why some people are feeling like, how long can I keep paying this? Which is why a lot of it is more like after telling people that I'm gone forever after doing this. So we're going to have a different video about that. So if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. I'm going to tell you how to navigate that part. But today I want to talk about broke in Nigeria, moving to Nigeria and being broke. So I've seen a lot of people, right, move to Nigeria, and especially people that haven't lived here, probably grew up here, but they didn't get a chance to really live here, or people who have been away for a very, very, very long time and probably thought that the system was waiting. So, I mean, people that moved out like 3 years ago just kind of still know what it's like. But I'm talking about people that have been gone for so long and then they find themselves coming back, or people that have never been and they move for reasons like you've heard a lot of move to Nigeria, labor is cheaper, move to Nigeria, it's cheaper to do this, move to Nigeria, it's cheaper to live. And then a lot of people come and they end up saying, like, am I broke? In fact, I was one that said, am I broke or is Nigeria expensive? Which is what I want to talk about. Now, is Nigeria expensive? I feel like that is so, I don't know how to put that question because tell me one part of the world now that is not expensive to live in, especially if you're living in places like Lagos, Abuja, which is one thing about Nigeria. You know, whenever we say move to Nigeria, most times a lot of us are focusing on Lagos because this is where we live. This is what we know about, right? This is our place. So whenever people say move to Nigeria and they say move to Lagos, Lagos is not the only city in Nigeria, which is why I'm using this opportunity to also call on other content creators. If you're in a state like you're in Enugu, you're in Port Harcourt, like do content about moving to Nigeria and also choosing these cities, right? Because again, people keep complaining that, oh, we keep saying Lagos. I'm not going to talk about what I don't know. Like if I don't live in a place, I don't know the cost of living there. I am not going to talk about it. I can do a research. If you ask me to do that, I can do. But like if we have content creators, I will personally share your content. I know what I'm saying. It's very important. Yeah. So um people are asking, is Nigeria expensive? Someone said that they moved to Nigeria and they were broke. I'm gonna just tell you to you like in plain, let's talk about it. The reason a lot of people move to Nigeria and get broke is because one, they don't plan. You want to go abroad, you're going online and you're asking, right? What does it take to move to this country? How much will I need to do this? What kind of job do I need to live in this country? You're asking all these questions. I mean, you're doing your research. But once it comes to moving to Nigeria, because I remember when I started this channel, somebody commented and said, "You're making it look as if it's not that easy to move to Nigeria." I said, "Yes. That's why people like you move back and get into trouble because you feel like you shouldn't plan for it." She said, "Is that not the Nigeria I stayed in 10 years ago?" I said, "Come back. Come to that Nigeria you stayed in 10 years ago where you are paying rent for 500,000. And you see that that place now that you are paying rent for 500,000 is probably like 5 million now or more, right?" So a lot of people come in with that. They talk about a place. Like sometimes I'm on live, I'm on spaces, you hear people saying things like, "Oh, they don't have this shop here in Enugu." And I'll be like, "Please, when last did you visit Enugu? Because you guys are talking as if you just left and the world waited for you." So that is one thing a lot of people do. Please, if you're coming to the live, please like the video. You help it spread more to other people. So when you're coming back to Nigeria, even if you left last year and you're coming back again this year, my dear, do your research, tailor to where you want to stay, right? Think about the cost of living there. Think about again your why. Why am I moving back to Nigeria? A lot of times people say that, oh, the bills are too much, so much bills abroad, obviously, as we know. And then you move and then you're incurring the same bill. Because what you don't understand about Nigeria is that if you live abroad and your rent is $10,000 and you have to pay a certain amount every month, in Nigeria, if that same rent is as maybe even lower, $6,000, you're expected to have that $6,000 at once. Some will even tell you 2 years. Nothing like credit card here. We don't do all that. It is cash and carry. If you're buying a car, excuse me, even if that car is 80 million, you are expected to have 80 million. They don't have things like that, which is why it is easier abroad for somebody to move. The next thing they'll say, "I bought a house." Next thing they've said, "I bought a car." Next thing they've said, "This," and that's why in Nigeria it's such a big deal to have the latest iPhone. It's such a big deal to have all this because they paid off pocket. So that is one thing you need to consider. You're thinking of your house rent. Don't just say, "That's $6,000. That's what it cost me here to be here." Remember that $6,000, that $10,000, you're going to pay everything at once. Yes. Another thing again, why people come to Nigeria and they get broke is this boundaries. A lot of people come to, I've said this in so many of my videos, right? You come to Nigeria and you do not set boundaries. You do not set your boundaries. You're like, everything is open. People will take advantage of the fact that you're back. Like I said, even if you just left 2 years ago, people will come to you with their problem. Your helps, your nanny, your driver. You hire a driver, you might end up paying for his kids' school fees. Not because you're doing charity or you feel like no, but because you just see someone standing outside. What happened? Emma, they've thrown me away from my house. This, that. Family will want to see you as the cash madam. Even friends that are probably doing better than you, maybe working in one company where they are paying them seven figures, taking care of their house rent. But you, because you came back, they're like, you just came back, you're the one to pay, you're the stuff like that. Family events. People, especially like in this Lagos, I have a rule. I hardly wear ashwebi. Because if you say you're going to do ashwebi in this Lagos every single weekend, because I see people come and say, "Oh my God, Nigeria is broke. Guess what I wore to a wedding? I spent 3 million on someone's wedding." When I saw that trend, I was like, what is happening? You spend 3 million naira on someone's wedding every weekend, then you go home and say Nigeria is expensive. No, you do know that you have the right to say no, right? You have the right to say, "I don't wear ashwebi. I can come for your wedding, but I don't want to do this." Because everything in Lagos, for example, is a show. They have breaking party. It depends on you if you want to go. Nobody is forcing you. Because sometimes they make it look like, oh, you must go for these things. No, it is your choice. It is your choice. The people you meet, the kind of people you want to mingle with, the space you want to be in, it is all on you at the end of the day. Because when I hear a lot of people say, once you come to Lagos, you'll be broke. There's party every weekend. Am I not in the same Lagos? I go for the party that I want to go for. If I want to buy a Ashwebi, I do. I mean, I saw someone, when was it, like last week? I have not seen this person in forever. And you come to tell me that you're getting married and that your Ashwebi is 600,000. We don't know. So I'll now say, oh, yes, bring it. We are not friends. Like, we're not friends. If you want me your wedding, like, it's already the same. Because personally, if I'm doing a wedding, I would like only people that I'm really close to. But okay, it's the Owambe, it's enjoyment. You want like everybody cool, we're different. But then you're not going to tell me to spend that amount of money. That's minus makeup, that's minus all that, right? For somebody I don't know. Now, imagine I do that every weekend. I'll come back and tell you guys that living in Nigeria has made me broke. But what I'm not going to tell people is how I was spending my life, my money. how I was using a makeup artist to go for every event, how I was buying Ankara pants for 200,000 because they named it the Amanda pant or the Bisola pant. Because when they say that people want to take advantage of you, it's not just people in the market, even people in shops that sell things that you know that naturally this shouldn't be the amount, but they call it like they just go back shop, and you fall for things like that, you will get booked faster. In fact, sometimes it will even be better you're abroad. Now, the most important thing that people do not consider when they're moving abroad is that moving back to Nigeria is that to replicate the life you're living abroad in Nigeria is expensive, especially if you're not willing to compromise. So ask yourself, why am I coming back? If you say, for example, now I'm coming back because I want 24 hours light, you have to understand that the country you're coming from has 24 hours light, and all you have to do is pay. Now, the country you are coming to can give you that same 24 hours light like I have, but you have to consider staying in an estate that offers that. You have to consider that your backup needs a backup, meaning you need to get yourself solar in order to save your light because it's very hot. So you might as well use the sun and charge your solar. All these things will cost you money. That if you now put it together, and on the long run, you will enjoy it because, I mean, less maintenance, blah, 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 and stuff like that, right? But the startup in the first place. So I've seen people here comment and say, how do I get light just at night? It's better for me. Those are the people that are ready. But I keep telling people the same thing, right? You come back to Nigeria and you look at it like this. This is something I use on my video every time. I say, if you're abroad, no matter how cold it is, are you going to run your heater 24 hours? That's the same thing in Nigeria. No matter how hot it is, are you going to turn on your AC for 24 hours? Personally, I use meter now, so I control how much I want to spend. Is light expensive? Yes. But there are things I put in place to know, like rechargeable fan, things like that. You can say, okay, by this time to this time, I'm using AC, or this is the time I want to splurge, I want to enjoy myself. We have times that are typically hotter. Like this period now, I spend more on electricity because it's hotter now. So I run AC more than usual. But all those things are planned. Someone, when I made a post about this on Thread, the best comment I saw was a lady who told me that she had moved to Enugu because she was like, I live where I was living, that where she was living was very expensive. She spent a lot of money, and her why for coming back to Nigeria was to reduce. So why would she come back and incur the same thing? So first of all, she was like, I work from home, right? I don't mind taking a pay cut if that means I don't have to come into the office. Okay, this and this and this is what I need. I need somewhere quiet. I don't need to live in a mansion. I don't need garden. I don't need all that. And she took a flat in Enugu and she's like, I am living my best life. I do not live back to back hustle to move to Nigeria and do the same. That is why I said a lot of people do not talk about that. They don't think about that. They just hear the hype of, oh, let's move to Nigeria. Oh, it costs this amount to stay in Ikoyi, it costs this amount to stay in VI. Then you pay it for 1 year, 2 years, and you're like, Nigeria is expensive. You have to import your bell pepper. Sorry, I keep using this bell pepper because I literally heard a girl say it and I cannot get over it. She says she uses only imported bell pepper. So Nigeria is expensive, that they don't talk to people everywhere. So, and I'm like, where are you? Okay, you're in Ikoyi, you're in Banana Island, you're in a street where the 1% of the 1% is, and then you're angry that people are minding their business. Make it make sense. If you wanted friends, if you wanted to, like, you should have done your research. So I've seen a lot of people move back to Nigeria and get broke. Even worse, for this reason. Like the simplest way I can tell you, not living within your means and boundaries, thinking that you are still spending. When you're in Nigeria and you're making dollars, it's easy. You change dollar to naira, you enjoy yourself. Now, that naira, you are making naira now. Think naira when you move to Nigeria. Even if you're earning in dollars, think naira because now you are spending in naira. So everything you're doing, think naira. Don't say, how much is it to pay? 300,000. Nah, that's about $200. That's fine. No, think about 300,000 in naira. Don't think about it in dollars. Think about it in naira. Think about the local currency that you are using, right? Think about, why do I want to be here? Can I be here and still get the safety that I need? Okay, I'm going to be working. Do I need to take a pay cut to work from home? Do I need a car? The same way you think about, do I need a car? Do I need Uber? Which one is easier for me? I know a lady that stopped working. They say something like accountant explains it all. I follow her a lot. A lot of the things she cut out, it might look like nothing, but it's like that's actually true. I had to go back to my drawing board after watching her video. I was like, it's true. Do I need all the subscription? It might be here every now and then, 10K here, 15K, 20K here. Might feel like nothing, but again, if you're not using it, it's a waste. At some point when she stopped working in banking, she realized that it was more expensive for her to keep a car when she usually doesn't go out, and she found out that it's easier for her to rent cars when she's going out or use Uber because she's not the going out type. Yeah. Some of that's the thing. Like you want to ship in your car, you want to use this car, you have not thought about the cost of maintaining that car and the kind of roads you are coming to. I'm making this video and I'm going to making a lot of it because I've seen like an influx. I've seen a whole lot of returning again. I've seen a whole lot of people abroad struggling, and they're like, especially the new set of Japada with all these whole rules, like this whole thing that's happening in America, this whole thing that's happening like in the UK, and people are like, okay, if I come back, how do I do it? When you come back, see yourself as Nigerian, like that is here. Even if you're American, see yourself like I am here now. The same way you will not overspend anyhow in America is the same thing here in Nigeria. They say, oh, Nigeria is sweet when you have money, but what they've not told you is that how much is it to go to that private hospital? How much is healthcare? How much are those basic things? How much is it to get 24 hours electricity? Those are the things you put in place. People will tell you things like, yes, childcare, it's cheaper. I know a few people that told me like that they wanted to move their kids to school, to secondary school, and they're like, why? When I sent bills, and they're like, wow, I didn't know private secondary schools were this expensive. Yes, private secondary schools now are expensive. You know why? You're comparing it because where you are, your kids are probably going to like a public school, and because it's England, it doesn't matter. You know what I mean? But here now, you do not want to put them in those kind of schools, right? For because maybe the standard and all not the same. But you did not consider that when you were moving. So you did not add that to your budget. Very important. Do you get me? Very important. So no, you are not broke. Nigeria currently is expensive. The cost of living in Nigeria is high. Like, I'm not gonna lie, the cost of living in Nigeria is high. If you don't spend wisely, except you have money running everywhere, even if you're making your money in pounds and dollars, if you do not spend wisely, you will go broke faster, and it might even be easier for you to be abroad. Because probably abroad, you don't have to go for those on one base that you're interested in, right? So the same way you're paying black tax abroad, when you come back, you also have to let people know that I am back here. Like I'm with you guys now. I am with you guys here. I'm here with you guys now. Hello. Do you get? Because you come back, they're still treating you like you're abroad. You do ask yourself, do I have to be in Ikoyi? Do I have to be in VI? Do I have to be in Lekki? Ask yourself those questions. I know someone else, I think she's on YouTube, right? She moved from Lekki to a place in Yaba. She said it's easier for her because her school was actually in Yaba. The school that she's teaching in is in Yaba. She moved down and she felt like, no, I'm here, so I must be in this expensive place. But she realized that right now she's saving more. She said she uses public transport, and that her school is very close to. So sometimes if she walks. These are the things you need to consider. Why am I moving? Am I moving because I'm leaving New York? New York is fast. New York is busy. Then you're moving to busy Lagos. When there is Uyo, when there is Enugu, when there is Asaba. And most importantly, ask yourself, when you're in Nigeria, how will you be earning? This is one thing that people do not consider. How will you be earning? People lie to people a lot. You know that when you want to come back to Nigeria, speak to the real people. Don't speak to the people lying to you. The people telling you Nigeria is finished. The people telling you that all you need to do is come back, that work will be waiting for you immediately. The people telling you that all you need to do is to have an accent. Don't wear the days. You know those days in Nollywood films where to make your film you have to put Oyibo in it. Don't wear those days. It's gone. So you have you have to be with time now. What are you studying? What can you do in Nigeria? Have you done your market research? Not just say, you know what, I'm gonna come here and I'm gonna do microblading because when I left, nobody was doing microblading. Have you come to that street to be sure that everybody, their mommy, their pussycats and all that they are not doing that microblading? Don't just have a business idea because you feel this is one thing I see that is happening a lot. Oh, Nigerians love fashion. Nigerians will buy this. You come in, let's go into fashion. Why? Because the fashion industry is booming, and then you come, boom, you're going into fashion. Nothing new. Everybody's literally doing the same design. You get Ankara, you put pockets in it, you call it the Bisola top. What are you coming like? Nigeria has a whole lot of problem, a whole lot of it. What are you coming to solve? What exactly are you coming to solve? Or you're just moving back because, oh, they said we're moving back. As long as I've lived abroad, when I come back, it's going to be so easy. I had a conversation with someone. We're talking about moving to Nigeria. And I said, you see, like a lot of estates now they don't use like before we have what we call like the megad. You just go and get someone, they'll be opening your gates, they're not professionals. Now they are using a lot of uniformed security, right? For just the way they do abroad. And that way it's so easy because the company is in charge. You pay them like yearly or 2 years. They're in charge. If anything happens, there's insurance, things like that. If you don't like the people on duty, they change it. Even if you like that, they have a routine, things like that. So it's a lot easier for people. They go around and then they sign with estates. If you see estates coming, you sign with them. And I'm like, okay, this is what you're doing abroad. What if you think about this and bring this solution to Nigeria, which is one, a lot of them are not trained. And training is such a fundamental part. Like, if you have been to Nigeria, you know that one of our biggest problems is training. Customer service don't even know how to pick call. I asked a very big brand, I was trying to buy attachments, right? And I asked a very, very, very big brand that they spend a whole lot of money on ads. The ads came up, I asked the question. It took almost 3 days before they responded. By the time they responded, I bought from somewhere else. Not just that, the response, the lackadaisical, I don't know, everything about the response was just giving, I've answered you. Training is something that we lack in Nigeria. So training is one aspect that will always work. Companies constantly need people to train their staff. That thing that you're doing abroad, like customer service is such a huge problem in Nigeria that every time I call my internet providers, I forget that I am talking to them in Nigeria because that's like one of the best customer service that I have dealt with in Nigeria. No matter how angry I am, once they call me, because the way they will dilute the situation, the way they will talk about it, or call it typical customer service in Nigeria. You feel like withdrawing your money from that bank. And but people do not know how much they are losing on the table because of this. So my point is when you come and present this thing, stay on track. Don't be like, that country, don't follow those people who are on social media. All they are saying is Nigeria is finished. Nigeria is finished with over how many millions of people. They are still living here. They'll keep living here. Some people will never get to live here. Some people have been in Nigeria now for how long? And I'm someone that I can travel. I can travel, but I still stay in Nigeria. I've had 3 major surgeries in Nigeria, in a hospital in Nigeria. Medical negligence happens everywhere in the world. This same surgery, I've almost had it in America. I was not okay with it. I came to Nigeria, I had it here. People come into Nigeria for IVF every single day. Yes, when one thing happens, we blow it out of proportion. There's a lot the government needs to do. I'm not even going to sit down here and say that we are close to perfect. We are not, but we do not need to exaggerate things. So it's because all those things are so exaggerated that you just feel like when I come back, everything is rubbish. So anything I put myself in, anything I put my hand in, anything I give them will just work. You now come and you'll be shocked. You will be shocked that person you left behind is probably managing the company now. Yeah, that's how it is. It's a place of opportunity. Yeah, that's it. It's a place where someone's life can change in a minute. I know a guy, he was doing his internship like in a company, right? And every time this guy will wear, even if it's the same suit, he will iron it well. He will smell good. And one day, right, he was working in my cousin's company. So my cousin had to tell me so that, I want to buy perfume for this person. Every time you see him under his corper salary that he looks good, she had to take note of him. Guess what? One day he got into a lift. He was about to get into the lift. It was the MD. You know how Nigerians are. He wanted to stop. The guy said, "No, come in," because the MD, like the way it is, he's in Abuja, so they don't get to see him. So he did not even know who he entered the lift. He just thought he was right. I said, "What did you say? You're a copper. How much is copper salary?" To him, I said, "Every time I have noticed you and you dress like this, you smell good." He said, "Yes, that if as he's going home now, he will wash it, but that he told himself that he must always look the part." The guy said, "Follow me." Followed him, went straight to the secretary's office. I said, "This guy, give him this. I need him to be my assistant." That's how he got that job. From there, he has worked his way up. So, do we have a lot of issues? Yes, we have a lot of issues. We do. But do we also have a lot of potentials? Yes, we do. Is there also a place that if you play right, you will do well? Yes, 100%. 100%. So when you see people talking about we came back and we became broke, you ask them, what were you doing? Look at those ladies. Every time they make a video of how horrible Lagos girls are, on how Lagos girls don't speak to them, on how Nigeria is so, ask them where they are staying. You hear Ikoyi, you hear Banana Island. That's when I asked, I said, if you were to live in LA, would you live in Beverly Hills? So why are you in the Beverly Hills, quote unquote, of Lagos? A lot of them come, they don't spend well. They didn't come with anything. So next thing to be doing, I moved to Nigeria and I regretted it. There's nothing this, but they are not telling you people how they came and moved like a big boy or big girl. And I was showing people that I have money. You went, you are declaring correct. When your money is good on, they'll be like, you go be. Okay, thank you. Yeah. Anyway, enough of my talk. I can talk for a long time, so I try to like cut myself. I'm sure I've already spoken for a long time. Anyways, my name is Sarah Donald. If you're seeing this channel for the first time, I'm going to leave all my details in the description. You can reach out to me. You can always recommend what you want me to do. You can check my channel. If I haven't done that video, you can always say, "Oh, please make a video about this. Make a video about people that don't want to move back. Make a just whatever it is. If I am vast in it, I will. If I'm not, I will do a research. But I'm here for you guys. And thank you so much for the support. Please keep, whenever you see my video, please like it. It encourages me, helps to push it out more, And thank you so much. Stay blessed. Comment something, anything at all. Comment on the comment section. Nice one, long one, whatever it is. Not true. It's true. It's all a conversation. Thank you so much and stay blessed.